Back to Langmitra. I'm Chloe, and joining me as always is Devendra. Today, we're diving into something that trips up almost every French learner. And honestly, it's one of the most important things to get right.
Oh, let me guess. Is it the whole tu versus vous thing? Because I've been terrified of accidentally insulting someone in French.
That's exactly what we're covering. And Devendra, here's the thing. By the end of this lesson, you'll not only know when to use tu versus vous, but you'll also be able to introduce other people naturally and talk about your entire family using possessive adjectives. And stay until the cultural note near the end, because that's the part most learners get completely wrong.
Okay, now I'm really curious about what that could be.
Trust me, it's going to surprise you. But first, let's quickly connect this to what we learned last time. Remember how we practiced introducing ourselves with je suis, meaning I am, and je m'appelle, meaning my name is?
Right, so I can say je m'appelle Devendra and je suis étudiant.
I'm a student. Perfect recall. Today, we're building on that foundation. Now you're going to learn how to introduce other people, not just yourself. And if you're new here and want a steady stream of lessons like this, subscribe to Langmitra. We ship one a week. Now, are you ready to become a social butterfly in French? Absolutely. Let's do it, Chloe. All right, let's start with how to introduce someone else. In French, we have two main structures. The first is c'est, which literally means this is or it is. The second is il est or elle est, meaning he is or she is. Now here's where it gets interesting. These are not interchangeable.
Wait, they're not? When would I use one versus the other?
Great question. Use c'est when you're identifying who someone is, especially with a name, a profession with an article, or a general description. For example, c'est mon ami, this is my friend, or c'est un médecin, this is a doctor. Can you try saying c'est mon ami? C'est mon ami. Nice attempt. Just soften that final E sound a little. It's more like ami, not ami. Try again. C'est mon ami. Much better. Now, il est or elle est is used when you're describing someone with an adjective or stating their profession without an article. So you'd say, elle est médecin. She is a doctor. No article. Or il est intelligent. He is intelligent.
Oh, so c'est needs that little word before the noun, like un or une, but il est and elle est don't.
Exactly, Devendra. You just nailed one of the trickiest rules. Let me give you a practical example. Imagine you're at a party and you want to introduce your friend Marie. You'd say, c'est Marie, elle est française. This is Marie, she is French. Can you try that full sentence?
C'est Marie, elle est française.
Excellent pronunciation on française. The nasal sound at the end was spot on. Now let's add some family vocabulary because this is where introductions really come alive. Let's start with the basics. Mère means mother and père means father. Try saying ma mère, my mother.
Ma mère.
And mon père, my father.
Mon père.
You're getting these beautifully. Notice how we use ma for mère because it's feminine and mon for père because it's masculine. Now let's add more family members. Frère means brother and sœur, spelled S-O-E-R, means sister. Can you say mon frère?
Mon frère.
Good. The R in frère is that French uvular R from the back of your throat. It takes practice. Now try ma sœur.
Ma sœur.
Lovely. The U sound in sœur is one of the hardest for English speakers. You're doing great with it. Let me give you a few more. Grand-père is grandfather. Grand-mère is grandmother. Oncle is uncle. Tante is aunt. Cousin stays cousin for a male, and cousine with an E at the end for a female.
Okay, so I'd say mon grand-père for my grandfather and ma grand-mère for my grandmother.
Exactly right. Now, here's something important. When we talk about plural family members, we use mes. So my parents would be mes parents. My brothers would be mes frères. Can you try mes parents?
Mes parents.
Perfect. The S on mes is silent, just like the S on parents. Now let's practice putting this together. Imagine you're showing me a family photo. How would you introduce your mother?
Let me think. C'est ma mère?
Perfect use of c'est. Now add a description. Maybe she's French or she's a teacher, which is professeur.
C'est ma mère, elle est professeure.
Magnifique. See how natural that sounds? You're bridging those connections beautifully. Now let's say you're introducing your brother, who is a student, an étudiante.
C'est mon frère, il est étudiant.
Devendra, that was flawless. Compare how you said that to how you might have stumbled at the beginning. You're really getting the rhythm of French introductions.
Thanks, Chloe. It actually feels more natural now. But wait, what if I want to ask someone about their family? Like, how do I say your mother?
Excellent question. And this brings us to ta, ton, and tes. These are the informal your possessives. Ta mère means your mother when talking to someone you're close with. Ton père is your father. Tes parents is your parents, plural. Try saying ta mère.
Ta mère.
Good. And ton frère?
Ton frère.
Excellent. Now here's where it connects to our big topic. You only use ta, ton, and tes with someone you address as tu, and this brings us to the heart of today's lesson. Tu versus vous.
Finally, I've been waiting for this. Every time I try to speak French, I freeze trying to decide which one to use.
I completely understand. And here's the good news. There are clear guidelines, and once you know them, it becomes second nature. Tu is informal. You use it with friends, family, children, peers your age, and generally anyone you have a casual relationship with. Vous is formal. You use it with strangers, elders, authority figures, in professional settings, and anyone you want to show respect to.
So if I meet my friend's parent for the first time, I'd use vous.
That's a perfect example. Even if they seem friendly, start with vous. They might say, tu me tutoies, meaning you can use tu with me, which is essentially permission to switch to the informal, but never assume.
Tutoyer. Is that the verb for using tu with someone?
Yes, tutoyer means to address someone with tu, and vous voyez means to address someone with vous. The French have actual verbs for this because it's that important to the culture. Can you try saying tu me tutoies?
Tu me tutoies.
Good attempt. The T sound at the end of tutoie is silent, so it sounds more like tutoie. Try again.
Tutoie.
Much better. Now, here's a practical tip. When in doubt, always default to vous. It's far better to be too formal than too informal. Being too formal might make you seem a bit distant, but being too informal can actually be seen as rude or disrespectful. That makes sense. So at a hotel or restaurant, I'd always use vous with the staff. Exactly right. And they'll use vous with you too. It's mutual respect. If this is helping you, a quick thumbs up sends this lesson to more learners. Now let me show you how this affects the phrases we just learned. When asking someone formally about their family, you don't use ta, ton, tes. You use votre for singular and vos for plural.
Oh, so your mother formally would be votre mère, not ta mère.
Precisely. Votre mère, votre père, vos parents. The distinction mirrors the tu and vous choice. Can you try votre famille, meaning your family, formally?
Votre famille.
Excellent. The V is nice and clear. Now let's do a quick role play. Imagine you're at a business conference and you meet someone. You want to ask about their family. How would you say, is this your brother? Let me think.
C'est votre frère?
Perfect. Notice how natural it is to combine c'est with the formal possessive. Now imagine you're at a casual party with people your own age, and you want to ask the same thing to a new friend.
C'est ton frère?
Devendra, that was seamless. You're switching between registers like a native speaker.
It actually feels intuitive now. The formal version just feels more distant, which matches the relationship.
That's exactly the right way to think about it. Now let me share something culturally fascinating about this. In France, the shift from vous to tu is actually a significant social moment. It marks the transition from acquaintance to friend. Some people who work together for years never switch to tu because they want to maintain professional distance.
Really? Even after years?
Yes. And here's what most learners get wrong, and this is the cultural note I mentioned at the beginning. Many textbooks teach that young people always use tu with each other, but that's not entirely true. In professional settings, even young colleagues might start with vous, and in some traditional families, children use vous with their grandparents.
Wait, vous with your own grandparents?
It shows deep respect for elders. I remember when I first moved to France, I met an elderly woman at a market. She was so kind and helped me pick out the best tomatoes. We chatted every week for months, and I always used vous. One day she said, "Vous pouvez me tutoyer." You can use tu with me. Devendra, I felt like I'd been given a gift.
That's beautiful. It's like the formal language actually makes the informal version more meaningful when you finally get there.
Exactly. The formality creates space for the relationship to develop naturally, and that's something we don't quite have in modern English. We lost our thou and thee centuries ago.
True. I never thought about English missing that distinction.
If you've made it this far, here's a bonus tip that will make you sound incredibly polished. When you're introduced to someone formally, you can say enchanté if you're male, or enchanté if you're female. It means delighted or pleased to meet you. Try saying enchanté.
Enchanté.
Beautiful. The nasal sound on the en is perfect. This one word shows you understand French etiquette.
Chloe, can we practice a full introduction scenario? I want to make sure I've got everything.
Absolutely. Let's imagine we're at your friend Pierre's house and you meet his mother for the first time. I'll be the mother. You introduce yourself and ask about me. Ready?
Okay. Bonjour madame, je m'appelle Devendra. Enchanté. Vous êtes la mère de Pierre?
Magnifique. Your French is lovely. And yes, I'm Pierre's mother. Notice how natural that felt. You used bonjour madame, which is always appropriate for an older woman you're meeting. You introduced yourself, showed politeness with enchanté, and used vous. Perfect etiquette.
That felt great.
What if Pierre then introduces me to his younger sister? Good thinking. With a sister, especially if she's around your age, Pierre might say, c'est ma sœur, Marie, and Marie might immediately use tu with you. Then you can mirror her level of formality.
So I follow her lead?
Exactly. When someone equal to or lower than you in social hierarchy uses tu, you can match them, but never go more informal first with someone you've just met.
Got it. This is so much clearer now. All of today's vocabulary is on Langmitra if I want to review, right?
Yes, you can drill all these phrases there after the lesson. Now let's do a rapid review of our family vocabulary. I'll say the English, you give me the French with the possessive. My mother.
Ma mère.
Your father, informal.
Ton père.
My brother.
Mon frère.
Your sister, formal.
Votre sœur.
My grandparents.
Mes grands-parents.
Your aunt, informal.
Ta tante.
My uncle.
Mon oncle.
Your cousins, formal plural.
Vos cousins.
Devendra, that was outstanding. Not a single hesitation. You've internalized the gender rules and the formal versus informal distinction completely.
Thanks. I think what really helped was understanding why these differences exist. It's not just random rules, it's about relationships and respect.
Any language. The grammar reflects the culture. When you understand the why, the how becomes natural. Let me give you one final practical scenario. You're at an airport, and you need to ask a staff member where your gate is. How do you begin?
Excusez-moi. Could I use that and then stick with vous for everything?
Exactly right. Excusez-moi or pardon, followed by s'il vous plaît, not s'il te plaît. Even in quick interactions, maintaining the formal register shows you understand French social expectations.
S'il vous plaît versus s'il te plaît. I hadn't thought about how please changes too.
Everything changes. Comment allez-vous is formal, how are you? Comment vas-tu is informal. Tu as versus vous avez. The entire conjugation system shifts. But that's for deeper lessons. For now, just remember, vous with strangers, tu with friends and family. Simple rule. I love it. Before we wrap up, if today's tu versus vous distinction surprised you, drop your thoughts in the comments and share this with someone you know who's learning French. They'll thank you for this one.
Chloe, this was genuinely one of the most useful lessons. I feel like I can actually walk into a French social situation now without panicking.
That's exactly what we want. And remember, making mistakes is part of learning. If you accidentally use tu when you should use vous, most French people will gently correct you or just smile. They appreciate that you're trying.
That's reassuring. So what's coming up next?
Next episode, we're going to explore descriptive adjectives and how they agree with gender and number in French. You'll learn to describe people and things like ma mère est gentille, my mother is kind, or mes frères sont grands, my brothers are tall. It builds directly on everything we learned today.
Oh, so I'll actually be able to say more about my family, not just list them.
Exactly. You'll bring your introductions to life. For homework, practice introducing your family members out loud. Use c'est for identifying them and il est or elle est for describing.
And try switching between mon, ton, and votre to get comfortable with all the possessives.
Will do. Thanks so much for this lesson, Chloe.
Thank you, Devendra. You made incredible progress today. Remember, every conversation you have in French, whether you use tu or vous, is a step forward in your journey. Keep practicing, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next lesson. À bientôt!
À bientôt!
Before we recap, one quick ask. What worked for you in this lesson? What felt hard? And what topic should we teach next? Drop it in the comments. Your feedback shapes what we build next.
One language sets you in a corridor for life. Learn language with podcast. Subscribe.